Hey guys, what's up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at this Marvel Legends Captain America figure. Oh, I'm so happy to finally have this thing. I've been wanting this figure since it was released. I think it looks absolutely fantastic, but it came with a pretty high price mark. I think this was one of the first Marvel Legends that came with that new £30 price mark, even more than that actually. It's around 32 retail, and I was just really hesitant to pick it up. I didn't really want to spend that much at the time, especially for a character like Captain America. You know, there's nothing wrong with Cap here, but he's not exactly my favourite. My priority was all the Spider-Man figures, and yeah, this fell to the wayside, but I still really wanted to pick him up, and I just kind of kept my eye out on eBay. They revealed the new Ultimate Captain America along with the new Extremis Iron Man. I'm really tempted to get that Extremis Iron Man, but definitely not a priority or anything at the moment. But anyway, with that Cap getting revealed, a couple of these figures popped up on eBay loose for a lot cheaper than the £32 price mark, and so I grabbed one. He's finally arrived, and I want to take a closer look at him here on the channel. So let's not wait any longer. Let me know what you guys think of this figure down in the comment section below. While you're down there, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, guys, please hit that subscribe button. And let's not wait any longer, let's take a closer look at this figure. Normally I would take a closer look at the box, but this is how he arrived. So let's take a closer look at all the accessories. We get this effect that is probably going to port into the shield. So let's take the shield off. As you can see, that ports into the back. Take it off and let's put this effect in. So goes in like that, and I suppose that makes it look like things are hitting off. Is it meant to be like a kind of throw effect? I don't know. What's it more of? Because we get these kind of bullet effects here that we can port in. So this one looks more like a swipe or something. I do like it. I'm glad we get quite a lot of accessories and fun stuff with this figure. As I mentioned before, I feel like that is something that Hasbro kind of lacks or sleeps on, is more of the accessories, especially, you know, lately I feel like we've been getting a lot of really good Marvel Legends figures, but they've been lacking on the accessories, and I love an alternative head sculpt. I love things like this, just more bang for your buck, I suppose. And yeah, that's more of the kind of gunshots going off. I think that looks really good. The problem is though, when they're not ported in, when you want a more neutral look to the shield, you've got 3 holes in it, and it's not the worst. I've seen a few folk complaining about that, but you know, I can live with it. I've got a couple more shields and things as well, not comic though, all the kind of MCU, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to pick this figure up. All the Captain America figures that I have are MCU figures, and because I got this comic Iron Man like really cheap, I wanted a Captain America to go along with him, and this one kind of looked perfect. We can compare them to later on. Here is another effect to port in. I didn't actually realise this one ported into the shield, but that looks really cool as well. In fact, that looks great. I love that. So yeah, all the kind of bits and pieces we get are to do with the shield, which is cool. I'm glad that they've thought that through, and they've gave us something interesting. We get all these interchangeable hands, karate chop action here. We get a couple like really open hands, so they look really good. I've seen folk using these on the new Daredevil as well, which pretty good idea. I'll need to check that out myself. And then we get a pointing hand, and that looks epic. That looks really cool. So yeah, Hasbro have really nailed it with this figure. We get the alternative head, which we'll look at in a minute. All these interesting different alternate hands. The shield with a bunch of shield effects. We get the hood that will drop on over when we swap the heads. We can look at that later on in the video. And the Steve Rogers head. I mean, everything that you want with a Marvel Legends we get with this figure. And I suppose you'd have to, as I said, this was one of the first figures where they hiked the price up, and so I guess they were trying to justify that price mark. It's just when they then release other figures for the same price with a lot less accessories, it just doesn't really come across well, but this figure isn't one of those examples. This is a really, really nice figure so far with all these different bits and bobs. The figure itself looks fantastic as well. Here is the mask sculpt, and that looks really cool. He's got this mean expression in the face. I think the cowl looks really nice. You get the wee white wings out the side. Just looks like a classic Captain America, just captured to the best level on this sculpt here. I love the texturing going along in the top half of the body here. I think it looks really, really nice. You've got the white star like shining out amongst, it's kind of like scales, isn't it? Like, it's just really, really awesome from Hasbro. I think they've absolutely nailed this one. Just a bit of scuffage here, but we get the red, white going along the waist, and we can check out articulation later on. We get the belt here, nice shiny buckle, the red gloves, the white in the arm, legs, the boots. It's just all here. I think it looks fantastic. The sculpt on this thing is excellent. The colours they've used are just so striking, so bold. I love this piece. I'm so glad I finally got it. Let's compare him to some other Marvel Legends. And so here is our Captain America next to this Marvel Legends Iron Man. I think we took a closer look at this one on the channel. I'm not 100%, but I got this for real cheap in a local game shop, and it actually had the anniversary Iron Man figure that had the same sculpt as this, and I ended up selling it. Kinda regret that now, but because I sold it, I picked this one up when I saw it for, you know, real cheap. And this one has the more classic colours, and I think it goes really well next to this kind of classic Captain America here. And I think these guys look really good next to one another. I just kind of need to now build a more comic collection. I need like a comic Thor and a comic Hulk, because the only comic Hulk figure I have is this massive Marvel Select piece, and yeah, it just doesn't really scale the best. I mean, I'm glad that it's Hulk, and we can kind of play around with his size, but yeah, I can't even fit it all in shot. There we go. That's the best we're gonna get. It doesn't actually look terrible. I think these guys look really cool next to one another, but Hulk is definitely a bit too big, and I'm gonna need a Marvel Legends comic Hulk. And as I mentioned, the only Captain America figures I previously had in the collection were some MCU Captain Americas. Here is one of them here. This is the Captain America 2-pack that we took a look at around a year ago now. It came with Falcon, and yeah, both great figures. I'm really happy with this comic cap. So I'll try and run over all the articulation here. You can get the head moving about that far up, that far down, so good range of movement, left, right. It will pivot around as well. No butterfly joints here. You can get the arm moving about that far up, go pretty far in at the body, backwards, forwards, upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, get the hand moving backwards, forwards, rotate that round. Same articulation in this arm here. Can move it backwards and forwards with an ab crunch there. So good range of movement there actually. Can move it at the waist, get the leg kicking real far forward, about that far back, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. You can get the leg kicking about that far out. You can move it around at the calf here, and you can get the foot moving backwards and forwards, and it will pivot around as well. And so there we have it for this Marvel Legends Captain America figure. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think it looks amazing. The sculpt is unreal, and we get so many accessories with this thing. Like, there really is not a lot to complain about at all. Articulation's decent. Yeah, I think this thing's great. Obviously, as I mentioned, it came at a bit of a higher price point, but I think with this one it's worth it. I do really like it, and I'm really happy to finally get it into the collection. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments section below. While you're down there, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'll leave the link to my Instagram in the description, so feel free to hop on over there. I'll definitely be posting some pictures of Captain America, and feel free to hop on over to the channel page as well. There are plenty of other figure reviews up on there. Would mean a lot if you could check that out, and it means a lot to me that you've checked out this video right here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll catch yous on the flip flop later. Cheers.